So, you might have a vague idea of what I'm about to do today. I would really like to paint something. If you've seen my last two painting videos, you might notice something different. I'm using a smaller well, actually I did use this size last time, but yes, I am using a smaller canvas because I want to focus more on simpler things, and I feel like painting smaller will help with that, which I did do last week. But this time, another change I'm going to make is that I'm going to draw something bigger, put on the smaller canvas, so it'll have like larger flat planes to play with like hue shifts and things. At least that is what my brain is telling me will happen. So I'm hoping to experiment with this hypothesis, test this hypothesis and see if I am correct. But yes, I've got my palette, which is about time to clean. Maybe after this video I'll like scrape that. It's really fun and enjoyable, trust me. That wasn't even sarcasm. That sounded like sarcasm, but it wasn't. I've also got paint, so we got some white. I've got all my colors. Burnt umber, quinacridone magenta, one of my faves, cadmium yellow light hue. I might buy a warmer yellow. This one's been too cool lately and it's messing with things. I also have bright aqua green, cadmium red light hue, and aquamarine blue. This is the color scheme. This is the reference photo I'm going to use. Some pixels. Oh, wait, who was the artist? Anthony. I'll have it linked though, so you can definitely show them some love too. I'd like to recreate it almost maybe exactly that size. I want it to be really big so that there's large planes so I can really focus on the shading and the details of a larger object. Because I think with things that I've done recently, I also tried to do like a bouquet of flowers and it was just too much and it was getting overwhelming. So I feel like if I focus on one flower, I can really pay attention to the veins and like every little detail and all the little color changes. Even though it's like a yellow rose with a green stem, there's lots of like colors to play around with inside of that. So that is the plan. So let's just get started, shall we? I have not prepped the canvas in any way, so this is just cheap square canvas I got from blick.com. I figured I kind of just want to go in. It's a study. It's not like I'm not selling this, so I just want to kind of go in and play around with some stuff and see what happens. We're definitely gonna need yellow, so I think we can start there. Stick it right there. Can't really see my reference photo. I guess that'll stay off frame. Oh, I need paintbrushes. I'm gonna use a flat brush and sketch out this rose, okay? A little water. Maybe I'll sketch it with the yellow. Why not? What's the harm in that? Basically, there's like a big, ooh, doesn't that look vibrant? Whoa! Just kind of trying to sketch out the rose. A little off-centered. Gonna have to move it over a little. That's essentially what it kind of looks like. And then there's a stem down here with a little, stem. I guess this isn't the stem, it's like a bud that goes straight down. Then we have all the leafy bits. There's one that kind of comes up here, one that comes out this way. I can also stylize it a little if I feel like it. Obviously, I don't have to use a reference exactly. I think mine's shorter than the reference. I might just move this all up a little. Yeah, we're basically just, this first step, I'm just trying to like figure out where I want it on the canvas because you can't move it later. I like the way the water's kind of making it blend outwards. It's kind of watercolory. Gotta make sure it's kind of even. When you're drawing something like straight on like this, I feel like it really needs to be centered. I might grab the blue and the green here. Do I not have a green? I guess I just use yellow and blue. That'll work. We can mix these two together, make a green. I want a really dark green here to begin with because it is a pretty dark, it's pretty dark in the reference. And I think I'm gonna need a little white and brown in some of those areas too because they're a little more yellowy looking. I wonder if I add a little yellow to this, what that looks like. It's a whole new green. Look at all those shades of green. I think it'd also be smart to have a little white just on the palette for future needs. This is a liquid acrylic or a fluid acrylic, I guess. Whereas these are regular acrylic, so they're much heavier and thicker. I do like to use this when mixing paints because I find that sometimes these are just too thick and I end up mixing a lot of white in and this just thins them out. But for areas where I need to be more opaque, I do have this titanium white. It can be handy too. And wait, I have one more thing. I would love if I could find a way to incorporate these. Specifically this gold one. Sunset gold light body metallic acrylic. It'd be cool to be able to like use that somewhere on the rose if possible, just to make it look more magical. All right, I was gonna use that green. Okay. We'll just kind of plop some of this in, kind of figure out where it goes. We're just adding in like a base layer. Again, it's like sort of the sketching stage of paint. For me at least. I'm kind of new to acrylic painting, so it's still very much a work in progress. This is like a lighter green right there, so I'm kind of gonna just leave it open to remember. This is dark. You can see a lot of like the white canvas peeking through there. That's a good reason to prep your canvas with like a mid-tone, which I did not do, but we'll figure something out. It'll be fine. Probably just do a lot of layers. Oops, I just filled that in. Obviously don't really have to worry about detail right now. Just blocking out the shapes. Go over with another layer before we start worrying about shading with this. 'Cause I do want to have as little of the canvas showing through as possible before we get to the point where I'm like putting down lines that really matter. All right, I think this could be a little thicker. The rest of the rose seems kind of big. Okay, now I'd like to add in some of the rose color while the green dries, and then we can put another layer on the green after that. I want to add a little red to our yellow to warm it up a bit. Make an orange. Too orange. More yellow, please. Gotta put these blobs too close together. I need to add a little white too. Okay, start by blopping in some of these. So a little bit of it pokes out on this side. And the rest is kind of all this little chunk that I sketched in. Now it gets a little bit more yellow. You can't really see much of a variation. We'll have to really mess with that. I've been working on a project, which I'm nowhere near done with it yet, but I'm drawing 100 of something, and I'm kind of doing them in a bit of a painterly, quick style digitally, so I've been improving my kind of like digital color knowledge and painting in that way, and it's been really fun, so I've been wanting to like try out some traditional painting to see if anything translates. So that video will be coming later, but for now you can enjoy this one. And we'll see if this is better than the last painting I did. And a little brown. Throw it in back here. I think we could be kind of overly contrasty here at the beginning before I blend anything out. That seems fine, right? Wait, why is this green? Was there green paint there? Clearly there was. But this is the color I need over here. And over here. And right here. Perfect. But I would like an orangey yellow for up here. Very orange. Maybe a little white. Too orange. Yeah, white for up here. Sort of like blend this piece off for now, just so it's not so visible. I forgot that color was still on this. Just kind of fill this in. It's only the first layer. More yellow to this color. Yeah, that needs more white. Just kind of looking at the reference and trying to find the right color. I am really glad that I picked something that had some decent planes, like flat planes to color in. It kind of just gives me the opportunity to focus on the colors and not so much the detail. And I think that's where I'm getting very overwhelmed when I do try to do acrylic paint, because I'm just not at that level yet. Okay, now this is a separate piece here. Blend this out. This doesn't need to be so harsh. This piece actually can be a lot bigger. It actually goes underneath this guy and comes in this way. Definitely none of the right colors yet, but we're working on it. This piece also needs to kind of jet out differently. Should be coming from like here. Kind of getting too corally looking. Maybe a little brown. I don't want to go too desaturated back here though. Still trying to find all the petals. We look a little lopsy. Don't need to worry about the form of the flower before I can worry too much about the colors. This is hard. Okay, that made a huge difference. This piece actually needs to go up. Where does this green keep coming from? I must snag it on the palette and I don't see it. Clean it, clean it. I just want like an orangey yellow. No green. No green. And that green's not going anywhere. It wants to stay right on the canvas. A little less saturated maybe. Kind of just mix it as I go up. Kind of how I would do it digitally, but it's not quite as smooth. Blend it, make a gradient. It's not bad. Looks like a gradient to me. I think what I could do is maybe go over this a little bit with some yellow. Tone it down. It might be time to take a teensy break from this part and go back to maybe the green. What is it? The leafy stuff. I wonder if I just need to like cut into that. But that's kind of what I had and I didn't like it. Oh, see, if I turn it sideways, I kind of see a strange lopsidiness. It looks heavier here. And I feel like it should be more... Well, maybe the reference looks like that. I just turned my head to look at the reference. Hard to say. I think if I was more prepared and my canvas wasn't so messy, I could lay out the colors in a better way so that I could reach them when I need them. Again, let this be a lesson to you. Don't do what I do. Yeah, this piece needs to trim. Trim that so we can color in with the background here, I think. I'll grab like a white Posca because I can kind of just block it out and then we can go over that with whatever background color I end up with. A little too wet. We'll come back to that. I'm gonna move over to the green. Start at least the second layer. If not, start adding in more details. I only want something with more brown, so I'll just grab that and some of this green and mix it together. Start down here. Almost black. It's on this side of the rose. Black out all of the dark areas. So I'm kind of forgetting about midtones. I'm just looking at what looks like it's the darkest green and what looks like the lightest green and just putting those in. Let's see if that has a good outcome. There's also like a little thing right here somewhere. There's also something back here, but I somehow painted over where that area needs to be. Let's mix this maybe with a little more yellow and a little bit of white. Make our lightest green, and then I'm gonna paint in those areas. And I forgot about my palette knife. Knew that was gonna happen. So this I'm gonna paint in anywhere that's light. Probably create a super cell shaded looking thing. I'm also not worrying about any parts of the leaves that are browner. Just the light and dark. Like pretend I'm using grayscale, but green. Wonder if I can blend any of this out. Maybe now add a little like red to this color. Oh wait, no, that's gonna make it desaturated. I don't think that's what I meant. Ooh, I like that. It does kind of look like what I want. I'll put that in these little areas. Just adding little twirlies to the end of each of these. I also need to add a little white to this color. Little spots. Also need more yellow. Back here. A little darker yellow though. This needs to be a little darker. Here's almost kind of red. Kind of just go along this edge, flapping it around. I kind of look at the canvas and look for like, not the canvas, the reference, and look for like a color that I don't have on the canvas yet, and then I mix that and then I plop it somewhere. I think I see a problem. This needs to be higher. Bring this up. And then come down. Add a little water and see if that helps blend this out. The colors that are already there. Look less lopsided now? Not particularly. I feel like I need to let it dry a second while I develop a plan of attack. And by that I mean figure out what I need to do next. I've been looking at these side by side. I do see some little errors I can maybe fix and it'll help. I'm not sure. Part of me just wants to go with it as is because like it's fine. But also I want it to be better. Like this needs to move over. Ooh, I do like that better. Not like the random blob of orange in the middle, but the concept of that being shorter. Ew. Don't like that. Color over that ugly gray bit. Alright, now we need to start really focusing on the color. And we do not want any orange. So I'm gonna need some more yellow. I said that very excitedly, didn't I? Since the yellow's kind of transparent, do you think I could just go over everything with yellow? We'll see. Oof, this paintbrush sucks. Wait! No, different paintbrush. Too crunchy. Might need to retire that one. How about this guy? Make everything yellower, and then we'll go over with like a whiter, like it needs more white, I think. So yellow and maybe some browns. Oh look, we're just doing what I said I would normally do, which is black out color, and then add all of the stuff. Is what it is. I kind of just want to like desaturate it up here. That would get me more of the colors I'm looking for. Oh, my head just wants to do this, even though that's not what the reference looks like. Start throwing in some of the shading. A little white. Also switch to a bigger brush, because I think I was getting too overwhelmed by the details. It's looking better. It needs a little more brown, maybe. I feel like this one back here. And this one, similarly colored. This one's almost the same color. Ooh, I seem to have made gray. Don't really need that. I'm gonna just fill it in anyway. I want to be able to add a color on top, and if it's just flat, it's probably the easiest. Maybe look for some of the color variation in this piece since it's so big. No, not dark enough. Darker, too much white. Kind of supposed to be just a shadow from this leaf. Not quite the right color. Blend it out, maybe. Kind of just blending right on the canvas at this point. I do want to add yellow back again at the top, but I'm trying to like smooth out this gradient because it was just too much, or too harsh, I guess would be the word. More yellow over here, lighter up here. I think the problem is that I'm trying to blend it and I'm not kind of spotting the colors as well as I might be able to. Restart a nice flat surface to deal with. Again. Maybe I need to switch to a smaller brush and work on the top here. We're just making it up as we go. I wonder if it'd be better mixing this instead of the cadmium red. I feel like my yellow is kind of hurting me here. Picked a yellow flower and I don't like the yellow color I have. So we're in a predicament. Could I like sketch over top of it? Try it with the magenta. What do we think of that? That does seem stronger. A little like highlight here. Ooh, okay. I think we have reached improvement. It's this magenta that's really saving the day. I think I like it better than like using burnt umber. Add a little white to this for this one back here. I'm just trying to find the edges again. I feel like we do need a little orange. I'm missing digital painting right now. How come when I'm doing digital, I miss traditional? And when I'm doing traditional, I miss digital? I guess that just goes to show you they each have their pros and their cons. But I feel like digital has less cons, except that it's digital, which is its cons. You don't get like a tangible thing at the end. I feel like I lost some progress. Adding a little more yellow on top of everything again. When in doubt, I just go over with my yellow color again. It's definitely too pink now, but what am I gonna do? One thing when you're like, I just don't know what I'm doing, but part of me is like, I feel like I used to know how to deal with this, and now I don't, which is extra frustrating. We just need like a little line art situation. Guess I'm just using this red as some kind of line art. Alright, so what I would like to start doing here is adding in a background just to kind of make it look a little bit more polished and see what we're working with. After that, I think I'd like a kind of gray color. So we'll need a lot of white. Why don't I just mix everything that's left on the palette together and then add white and see if it's the right gray. I'm gonna add a bunch of white, a little blue. We're getting all of this. Honestly, I don't hate this weird color that I've already got. It's kind of a pinkish white. Yeah, let's try it. Grab this color. And we'll start in the top left. Ooh, it's darker than I realized. This is gonna just be a first coat if I don't like it. I try to get up as close to the edge as possible. Really crisp that up. Luckily, this is a nice opaque background color, so I can always just go over anything to erase it. Ooh. That was cool. Satisfying. That's the word. Alright, so I gave it a couple hours. Now I am back. I've decided the stem is off center. Like too off center for me to even handle. So I would like to try and fix that. So I think I want to clean the palette so that I have flat surface to, you know, maybe mix my paints and keep them organized a little better. Because this is just chaotic. Okay. Just gotta get it started here. Usually the bigger chunks are easier to snag. Got some. That the way it feels, I don't know, I can't explain it. I just enjoy peeling these things. Yeah, it's all brown on the bottom, which is boring, but it's pretty on the top. It's a little bit of a time-consuming process, but boy is it enjoyable. That's probably good enough though for now. So what I would like is just have yellow and then have all the variations of yellow arranged in such a manner that makes it work for me. Oh, I didn't charge my... Oh, I hope we've got some battery. 7%. No, we don't. All right, so I guess we're going in without a reference. This might be good. I can like sort of assess it for what it actually looks like without like comparing it. Anyway, we need yellow. Big old blob. I think magenta worked really well, and then the orange as well. Oh, sorry. It's cadmium red light hue. I have felt a little restricted with the colors I have, but I can usually figure something out. Okay, this just seems easier. Could be wrong, but we'll find out. What we'd like to do is get some of this with some white. Why does this look so green? That's what I'm saying about this being like a very cool yellow. I think I want a warmer yellow, but we'll work with what we got. Just kind of make it look more rosy. Kind of play with these little edges. I might even kind of add a little piece here that's turning. I feel like it just needs more action at the top. I would even like to see what it would look like wider. Now this one's in shadow, so this one technically probably should be in shadow as well. I think the light source is like over here. Maybe I'll recolor those in, but I got the shape down. So maybe take this color and add just a teeny bit magenta. Might want to mix a little brown in here too, but we'll see. Oh yeah, that works good back there. I'm just kind of like eyeballing it at this point. Ooh, I like that color there. Maybe use that down here. Kind of incorporate it into other areas. Go over some of this red if it's transparent enough. If I could take that and add a little more yellow and a little more white. So like I'm trying to keep the colors organized so that I can go back and also just like Pasha. Just mentally like understand like the saturation and like hue difference and where I'm putting it. I think it's just gonna be helpful. That looks pretty smooth. I'd also just like to make this top section more open, which I don't know if I can really get away with, but I'd like to try. I don't know if I just like pull it wider. I also probably should use this kind of color for this. If I do that, then I need to make this little area even darker because it'd be less light hitting that. Ooh, I'm liking this better already. Ooh, okay. Maybe I was just too focused on the reference or something. Let's make a darker version. I want it to be desaturated, so I'm gonna need burnt umber or the opposite color. The opposite of yellow. Blue, right? I hope I'm not wrong about this. That will look real stupid. Oh no, that'll make green. I think I meant, I don't know, but I'm making a brown. I mean, I'm making a gray. It's fine. I'm thinking of the light source and whatnot. This color I could even use on the leaves. I'd like to grab our yellow again. Remix this color because it looks like it's dried. Approximately the same. Actually, wait. Color this guy. It's getting bigger every time I color it. It might be less saturated if less light's being like run through it, maybe. No, just trying to figure out what looks good, I guess. Mix all three of these together without white and see what that looks like. Maybe use that for the center again, just to find that shadow. Okay, I don't like this piece there. That's the wrong color. Maybe I just want like a lighter version of this. Oh no, that looks exactly the same as the color that's already there. Looks pretty similar. Grab what's on the brush, kind of, and then add some yellow. I'm really making it up now. I bet if I brought in the reference, I'd be like so confused. Get like a nice dark brown, actually. I do remember this one being kind of desaturated, but not this dark. Needs to be more yellow and more white. That's better. Oh, it's this color. I needed this color. It definitely looks different. Is there improvement? I'd say so. I also wanted to fix the stem. Figure out where the center is. Suppose I could use a ruler. It's almost centered, but it is too long on this side. That's drying way browner than I was expecting. Probably gonna have to create an all new background color, but I'm up for the challenge. I just kind of enjoy cutting in paint and like cleaning up that edge. Just kind of gives you control of the edges. Oh, this is really important up here to kind of like figure out what edges of things I'm looking at. Little blobs. Little magic blobs. All right. I think what I don't love is that I used a reference of a rose that's not quite as open as would be fun for me to draw. So I like keep trying to opening it up when it doesn't need to be. So maybe I should close it up a little. Like this piece. And then I want to get rid of that one too. So they're kind of like the same piece but on the other side. Bye. I feel like if I can just figure out the very center, I think I'd be willing to walk away. I say that and then I stay here for a while, so we'll see. Block that in. Kind of want to move this bud out a little more. Feels a little off center. Okay, see now that side looks wrong. The other issue is there's this petal in the way so you can't really see it. I think we can pull that out a little. Blend it out. Let me let that dry. We'll figure it out. Adding little thorns. That was not in the reference, but I thought it would look cute. And I think it does. I also kind of just want to swatch this and see what it even looks like because I've never used this before. Just on the edges of things. Just kind of like outlining the edges. I like it on the inside. I like that better than any of the colors I've mixed, actually. It's like the perfect desaturated, I guess, gold color. Sunset gold, specifically. Pretty close to being dry. I feel like it's dry enough for me to add in the final little petal up there. The reference had like a really tiny little bump. I guess I want something more significant. No, I don't like it. No! Going over it with rose. Not rose. Gold. What am I saying? I've been here too long. I just looked at the reference. This little piece here is like super dinky and this piece kind of comes around more. Should I try and do that? Is this working? I need like a smaller paintbrush. Or if I can use this like nail art thing. Use the little end of it. I think there's only so much I can do with my current skill set. I feel like I'm just kind of running around in circles. Magic speckles, like pollen. Little magic pollen. There we go. Yeah, we're calling it. This is the painting. Give you a little close up, I guess. There it is. It's not bad. I know, it's just, I looked at the reference and now I know what it doesn't look like. But it does look like this. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Coming along with me as I continue my journey to improve my acrylic painting. I think next time I'd like to do like an animal's face or something. Maybe? Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys all next week and I hope you have a delicious evening. DrawingWiffWaffles. Bye.